Hey y'all, thank you so much for joining the live stream. I really appreciate y'all being here in the middle of a Friday, no less. I want to start by saying hey to everybody who showed up. It's so funny because this week makes 4 years on YouTube on this channel, and I just think that's so funny because did that time not fly by? My gosh, I remember my first live stream. That's crazy. Anyway, thank y'all so much for being here. I see y'all. Hi, Tamiko. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Church Nelly. Thank you so much for being a member of the channel for 40 months. Oh my gosh. And I just want to remind people, especially people who have memberships on the channel and also Patreon, because those are paid platforms, those are topics to order, I guess, pay for play. So let me know like what topics y'all want me to talk about. If there's any specific story you ever want me to talk about, etc. Because you are using a paid platform, whether that's a membership or a Patreon, I like to deliver to order. So please don't forget that. But thank y'all so much for being here. Oh my gosh. Hi, Corlita Simon. It's good to see you. Let's see. Hi, Sonia Alexander. It's wonderful to see you. Yes, I think you were first. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have 3 main topics, which is crazy because I had 3 topics, and then as soon as I finished those and got the live stream set up, then more things happened. So that just means we'll have a really robust update on Monday. So I'm going to start with the first topic. But before I do, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like this channel or this video, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share. Our first story we're going to talk about today, it's Prince Harry releasing a surprise video. We're going to get this story from Feminegra. It's titled Prince Harry Sends Surprise Message After Funding Nottingham Youth Film. This is written by Miss Historian. There is something deeply satisfying about watching the spare heir actually do the work. While his brother poses in hard hats and talks about data predicting homelessness, Prince Harry quietly writes checks and gets things done. The latest example arrived this week from Nottingham, where a film about peer pressure and knife crime premiered to a surprised audience. The Duke of Sussex could not attend in person, but he recorded a video message that played before the screening, apologizing for his absence and praising the young people behind the project. Oh, that's beautiful. The video was played ahead of the first screening of To Those Who, a film about growing up in the inner city around peer pressure and knife crime. In the clip, Prince Harry apologized for not being able to attend the event, but said the movie was another demonstration of the creativity and talent that exists among Nottingham's youth people. To Those Who tells a story that for many of you may feel painfully close to home, he said. It shows how quickly choices can narrow under pressure and how easily potential can be lost when young people can be left without the support they deserve. But tonight is not just about the challenges, it's about potential, community, and what becomes possible when young people are seen, heard, and believed in. Community Recording Studio was one of the main beneficiaries after Prince Harry donated £1.1 million to BBC Children in Need in 2025. The money helped rebuild the studio's building and fund a music mentoring program. I also just hope, by chance, we get a mixtape, Prince Harry. That's all I ask.
Tonight is not just about the challenges, it's about potential, community, and what becomes possible when young people are seen, heard, and believed in. And to every young person here tonight, your story, your voice, and your future matter. Every young person deserves to feel safe and hopeful. That is why grassroots organizations like CRS, Take One Studios, and Epic Partners matter so deeply. Trusted relationships, creative outlets, and sport, they're not luxuries, they're lifelines. My donation to BBC Children in Need was made to support this collaborative work. It is helping to fund the Music Mentors program between CRS and Epic Partners, and it is driving forward the physical rebuilding of the Community Recording Studio. Our vision isn't just to rebuild a roof, it's to create a state-of-the-art long-term space where young people can create, connect, and thrive for generations to come.
I thought that was so sweet. I wasn't expecting it. I love when the Sussexes just pop back up with a video. And they do their fun videos and also these very heartfelt moments. But there was a moment in this one that was a callback to when he first visited that recording studio. And when he's walking in, he's dancing. It cracks me up every time. He just seems like such a cool person to get to know. I also appreciate that. Oh, the links to these articles that these segments are based on are in the description box below if you ever want to just read one or give it some traction, because I get them from Feminegra most often and they're written by Miss Historian and they are vehemently pro-Sussex. So I want to point that out. But I really appreciate that Feminegra pointed out just how impactful the work that Prince Harry and Meghan both do, just how impactful it actually is. And moments like this, we learned about that donation a while ago, and to see it culminate in this moment and to see that the children and the people associated have already started using it and putting it into action, that's amazing. I love that. They've been doing a lot of great work just as a couple, but also individually. So I thought that was wonderful. And I also wasn't expecting it. So I thought that was pretty cool. I woke up this morning and was like, a video? Where? And I went and grabbed that so we could talk about it, because this wasn't originally on the docket today, but I had to talk about it. I thought that was such a sweet video, and I love seeing the work that they do continue to culminate in so much progress and so much success for other people. So that's beautiful. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also coming to us from Feminegra. It's written by Miss Historian and it's titled Prince Harry Makes Time 100 Sports as Invictus Gets the Global Recognition It Deserves. There is something deeply satisfying about watching the spare heir quietly build something meaningful while the heir apparent seethes. She'd be reading William's ass down, and I love it. This week, Time magazine named Prince Harry to its inaugural Time 100 Sports list, honoring the most influential athletes, coaches, and leaders in the world of sports. And Prince Harry's inclusion has nothing to do with royal titles or tabloid spin. It is for the Invictus Games, the adaptive sports competition he founded in 2014 for wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans. No palace briefings, no sources close to nonsense, just genuine impact, recognized by a respected global publication. Quote, a few months after finishing his second combat tour in Afghanistan in 2013, Prince Harry lit the cauldron at the Warrior Games, a sports competition hosted by the U.S. Olympic Committee for wounded service members and veterans. He left the event in Colorado Springs inspired to build on the concept, adaptive sports for injured troops. Quote, I thought, wow, look at the power of sport. Look at how it's literally changing lives in front of my very eyes, Prince Harry tells Time. It was so clear to me. Let's invite as many countries as possible to make it international, because clearly more countries need to benefit from this. When you are wearing your nation's flag on your arm, on your chest, once that's removed, there's something that's missing, says Prince Harry, who served for a decade in the British Army. Quote, what we've managed to achieve through the Invictus Games over the years is not only to give people their purpose and their meaning back, but to give them their identity back. One thing that we really celebrate at Invictus is not only do we change lives, but we save lives as well, he says. That's not based on anything other than the amount of individuals that come up to me and say, quote, if it wasn't for Invictus, I would have killed myself. Prince Harry built something the palace could not spin into existence. I'm genuinely delighted for Prince Harry. He deserves his spot on the Time 100 sports list, not because of his royal title, but because Invictus has done real, tangible good for wounded veterans and service personnel and their families. He built something meaningful, and Time recognized the impact. Notice the contrast. Tabloids constantly manufacture shallow accolades for Prince William, another photo op, another hard hat, another recycled puff piece about his hands-on fatherhood. It's not like she's lying. It's sad because it's true, but it's funny because of how she says it. Another puff piece about his hands-on fatherhood. Damn. What kind of coffee does Miss Historian drink? Because I want a cup. Mama said, no time for bullshit. We're getting straight to the facts. Sorry. Pray for those kids. While the nannies, staff, and boarding school arrangements quietly sit in the background. Ooh, call it out. The British royal family spends so much energy managing its image and briefing against others. Imagine if they use that same status to build something with real reach. Prince Harry is living his best life, helping people, and the recognition is well earned. I hope he keeps growing Invictus, and I hope William and his media acolytes keep watching from across the pond, incandescent with rage, as the royal who got away does what they could never do, build something that matters. And yes, because that is a direct quote. I've been talking about William's issue with being incandescent with rage. Anyway, wonderful article, Miss Historian, and congratulations to Prince Harry, the Invictus Foundation, and the Invictus Games, as well as all of its participants, service personnel, veterans, and their families. Y'all deserve the recognition, and Invictus is doing wonderful things. Okay, so Prince Harry is in the leader section. He's actually the first person in the leader section. I love the photo they chose. I thought this was so cute. And I love how not only is he looking at the camera, can y'all see my mouse? You can see how he's looking at the camera, and look at how she's looking at Prince Harry with the British flag or with the Union Jack on her cheek. I love that. That was a great photo choice. And of course, Prince Harry looks absolutely elated to be there. Okay, so I wanted to actually read this portion from time.com because I did not put it in the video. This was written by Sean Gregory. A few months after finishing his second combat tour in Afghanistan in 2013, Prince Harry lit the we read this part. Let me scroll down to the part that we did not get from Feminegra. And you know what? These ads on this website is slowing everything down. That's why you keep hearing the glitch. It's because of all these ads. But let me go here. In July, Prince Harry is set to travel to the UK for celebrations anticipating next summer's Invictus Games in Birmingham, which will welcome, some 550 competitors from around 25 countries and include 3 new sports on the program. Esports, laser run, which combines cross-country running with pistol shooting. Oh, I have to be there. And pickleball. Pickleball has just like overnight gotten so popular. I remember when Jamie Foxx was in a coma, or he was dealing with some health issues. And the first announcement from his family after some lies had kind of gotten out there, misinformation, the media doing what the media does. And his daughter corrected the narrative, like, he's not dead. He's just not ready to be public right now because he's in recovery, but he plays pickleball. And I was like, thank you for letting us know that. I'm pretty sure, I think it was Corinne Fox. I was like, I'm pretty sure that, put a lot of that information, a lot of the misinformation at bay. That was wonderful. But the fact that pickleball was the focal point of that statement cracked me up, because that was the literal first time I heard about pickleball. And now there's a whole pickleball arena stadium, I don't know, across the street from where I live. And I was just like, this sport is literally just taking over. I just heard about it a good, 13, 14 months ago for the first time, but it looks fun. It looks like badminton to me, but I need to actually play it and I'll let y'all know what I think. But it's just so funny that pickleball has just become popular for what feels overnight. I'm excited to see it. Quote, to be amongst that community, those are the moments that I cherish, Prince Harry says. You wish that every society, every community had this same vibe about it. Absolutely. Oh, the next one is LeBron. But that's wonderful. He absolutely deserves all the recognition. I also just have to point out, Harry and Meghan have just been eating up these time lists. They're on at least one list a year every year. And that's still not enough. They do a lot of work. And I think it's because I talk about their work pretty much daily, except for when school is just beating me up. But I talk about their work daily for this channel, and we evaluate their work. We evaluate the things that they do, their engagements. We talk about and dissect their statements that they put out regarding their work, things like that. I think because I'm immersed in it in that way, sometimes it becomes difficult to truly zoom out. But when I zoom out and I just kind of pan the list of things that we've covered just on this channel, and I don't even have a chance to cover everything just because it's always something coming out, which is great. But sometimes I'll pan the list of things we covered and I'm like, okay, would I be crazy if I asked, when do these people sleep? Like, where do you find the time? And not only that, but I often say, because I have two schnauzers, that I could not imagine having, like, being a parent with multiple kids. Like, my babies don't talk. If I'm getting on their nerves, they don't let me know. If they need something, I have to anticipate it. But until I anticipate it, they're quiet about it. I can't imagine if every time I turned around, like to go to the restroom, to take a bath, to eat something, there was just a little hand in the way, a little grubby hand, as my mom used to say. She was like, the first few years of your life, all I knew about you was the inside of your palm, because I was always asking for something. Whatever she had, I wanted to bite. And my Aunt Gwen one time said, when she first met me, when I came home for the first time from Germany, the first thing I said to her, I walked up to her and said, I want a cheeseburger. And would you believe it? I'm exactly the same to this day. If you meet me out on the street, I will probably ask, might you have a cheeseburger? But no, I can't imagine having like kids and all of their needs, and have a household to run, and have these businesses and this foundation, which is a whole different type of operating system. And then of course have their own individual goals, things that they're working on. And then Invictus is its own thing. And Invictus is an extremely complex organization. They have so many things going on, not just the games, but the games, being that it's biannual, that gives them a little breathing room. But I don't even know that they could do it annually. It's such a big event, but it's a biannual event, meaning they only have 24 months to get that together, really like 20, because you have to wrap it up nearer to the date. You have to have all that stuff set in stone. So it's about 20 to 24 months of planning every cycle. And on its own, that's a lot. But then it also is a foundation. They have a lot of organizations, a lot of services, a lot of communities, and a lot of like inner communities within their network. The whole organization is complex, and there's a lot of people working for it and operating through it. That is its own monster. If that's all Prince Harry did, he would probably still be very busy. So all the other things they do, I'm just like, they have a solid team over there at Archewell. They have a solid team at Sussex.com. Like, they have good people around them to get all that done. And then all of the things that I've read about their internal framework at Archewell, Archewell Philanthropies now. Everything that I've learned about that is that they kind of operate with like semi-skeleton crew, like a very slimmed down crew. Everybody has multiple hats, and they operate like a well-oiled machine because things are passing through very minimal hands, which is great because they have a lot of stuff to pass around, a lot of work to do. But even that, I'm just like, my goodness, when do y'all find the time? Because even if you have a lot of troops on the ground, the visionaries still have to be heavily involved. They still have to be very hands-on. So anyway, kudos to them. That is incredible. I love seeing them get recognized, but I think my favorite part of covering the work that they do is seeing what comes from it. When Prince Harry made that comment that he has been approached several times about the impact Invictus has had on people who have suicidal tendencies or who have considered self-harm, and how it gave them purpose and got them reintegrated not only into community and society, but it brought them back to themselves. I was reading that. I had to cut that out of the video and re-record it because I was literally about to cry. I was like, I'm getting too sensitive. The older I get, the more I cry at the drop of a dime. But anyway, I'm just like, that's amazing. That's beautiful. He's also done several interviews about Invictus, and he does a really great job of illustrating from his vantage point how it impacts him on just like a soul level. Like, the work is obviously mission led. The work is for everyone else, but the type of reward he seems to get on a personal level for the impact that it has had on people, I love seeing that. I love when he gets a chance to just talk about, I call Invictus his first baby, talk about his first baby and just really go there, because I can't imagine having a vision and deciding like, this is going to probably help a lot of people. And then it helps like hundreds of thousands of people, like in many ways, because each competitor can only compete so many times so that more people get a chance to participate for every country. So many people have been impacted by Invictus. So every time you go, you might see if you go twice, you might see the same athletes twice, but you will never see them more. They'll usually come back as spectators, but they won't be competing. And so a lot of people get to participate because of that rule. Because of that practice, excuse me. So it's great that they found ways to not only expand out and to make their games more robust and to diversify the games and diversify the locations so that they can diversify the games, but they also found a way to make sure as many people get to participate as possible. Kudos to Invictus. I could talk about Invictus all the time. Like, let me not, because we'll be here all day. Y'all know I absolutely just have this place in my heart for Invictus. The next time they come to the United States, I will absolutely be there bright and early. I'm going to volunteer, even if they don't hire me to do so. I'm just going to steal a shirt and stand out there and help. I want to be a participant. But I will try my best being Birmingham. At the time that they first announced 2027, I wasn't in school yet. Since that time, I have now enrolled in school full time. I'm in the last stretch of my accelerated program. And there's something about that last stretch that's just really, it's been knocking my head against the wash and dryer. I'm so tired. Like, my gosh, I'm so tired. And then one of my courses is very heavily involved with math, and that's just not my thing. A lot of these things I haven't done since like middle school. And so I've had to revisit. It's been wonderful to refresh, but I've had to revisit some things. And I'm like, how was I doing this at age like 16 and 18? And like, I was a baby out here being a little genius. But anyway, it's been a long stretch. So I'm still trying to work it out that I can go. I know it's in the summer, so that should help. But I'm in a year-round program because it's accelerated. So we shall see, but I'm definitely going to go, even if it's just for a couple of days. If I can't stay the whole time, I'm definitely going. Y'all let me know, do you plan to go to the Invictus Games in 2027 in Birmingham? I just also want to go because I've never spent a long amount of time in Birmingham. And I really want to. And the first time I saw, okay, y'all, please be understanding with me. Let me be transparent. Don't beat me up. But when they first announced that it would be in Birmingham, I remember them, everybody was voting. And the first time I saw the vote say, I think it was between Washington, D.C. and Birmingham, I thought they meant Birmingham, Alabama. And everybody was like, oh, great, Invictus will return to the UK. And I'm like, Alabama? That's why you should get enough sleep. But also Birmingham, Alabama is one of my favorite places. I call it my favorite hidden gem. I love Birmingham, Alabama. They have the best food. That's why I don't go that often, because every time I go, I get fat. So anyway, let's get to some of the comments, because we could be here all day if I get on another Invictus tangent. Y'all know how I will do. Oh, hi, Lottie. It's good to see you. What's this? Okay, I'm going to come back to the comment about Idris Elba, because I have a couple of comments about him. Hi, Lottie. Lottie says, that's why William is jealous of Harry, because he could never do what Harry can do. I agree. I definitely think it's ingrained in them to be competitive. That whole family seems to do, they're weird about siblings. They just don't seem to understand how to nurture two people from the same household to grow up as as a duo or just as family, as relatives should treat each other. People should be good to each other and they should be taught to look after each other and love each other. Not perfection, but kids should be taught to respect each other and to love each other. I was actually trying to tell my husband about when I was younger, very different version of myself than I am now. But I just loved bothering my sister. My sister's 3 years older than me, and I just thought she was the coolest person in the world. So obviously, what do? You bother that person. You don't just tell them, hey, I think you're cool. Can I spend time with you? You pull their bun out of their hair, because I was 7, 8 years old. And my husband was like, your parents just let you bother your sister all the time? And I was like, they would let her bother me back. And he was like, they didn't just tell y'all to be nice and like show y'all how to interact without being mean to each other? And I was like, well, they said she couldn't beat me up. Duh. And he was like, that's it. And he's like, kids got to be taught to interact in a healthy way. And I was like, oh my gosh. Now, had anyone else told me that, I would have had the same reaction. But it's crazy how you have blind spots when it comes to your family. And that's why when we talked about how Prince Harry said, Meghan helped open his eyes to what he was really experiencing, and being with Meghan, someone who respected him. It's so different when you come from toxicity and then you're around someone who treats you with respect and you're like, that's how I'm supposed to be treated? Oh, let me go back and fix this. Like, I get why it was a late stage awakening for him. Because when you are desensitized to it, you don't know. But it took my husband being like, y'all are supposed to be taught how to interact. Like, yeah, you can play and banter, but you're not supposed to be always being mean to your sister. And she's not supposed to be always seconds off your ass. That's like not normal. And I was like, it's not. Anyway, I say that to say, I think William deals with a lot just because his family taught them to be horrible, as they do all the siblings. What's weird to me is even in Spare, Prince Harry noted that they have had conversations growing up acknowledging how different they wanted to operate with one another, especially when they became adults, and how they would never throw each other under the bus. And to me, reading that, but then observing what we've seen transpire, it just feels like William made a choice. He knew better. He chose to not do better because he knew he could. And then too, it feels like those agreements were made wholeheartedly by Prince Harry in good faith, but I don't think those agreements to operate in tandem were made wholeheartedly by William. It always feels like he was waiting in the shadows for his moment to strike. Seems like he's always competing to get the leg up over Harry. And sometimes people who are maybe not so naturally inclined to being accepted or always fall short, the person who doesn't have to work hard for approval or doesn't have to work hard for validation, they can render a jealousy about that person. And instead of acknowledging that as like, damn, I must be feeling pretty inadequate to not be rooting for my sibling, they see that as the sibling's fault. And that's absolutely not the sibling's fault. And it's a whole nother world. We could go on a tangent, let me not, but it's a whole nother world when the sibling who does experience a lot of validation and I'm not even speaking from within the family because those roles are actually reversed. William would be the one in the family who received validation. But externally, it is very clear that Harry is the far more likable, the far more handsome one. I mean, it doesn't take a genius. He's just far more likable. He seems to be a lot more funny. And he's almost always voted the most popular royal, sub his wife. And so clearly they just have that je ne sais quoi. For the people who don't have that, it can be really easy to target that person like, why don't I have that? As opposed to being like, look at my little brother go. I know that's right. I remember one time somebody was talking about siblings and I said, I have 3 siblings, but I have one. My sister is the person I'm the closest to, I guess you could say, because we grew up together. But I have another little sister, and then I have a little brother, and I have a whole lot of step siblings. But one time we were talking about being jealous of siblings, and I was like, I just find it to be impossible to be anything but super, super excited for my siblings when they do something. I don't know. It's just, I've never even, the thought to compete or compare never would have crossed my mind. No one can beat me cheering for my sibling. That's why my heart breaks for Harry, because I know that feeling of, I just want this to be a good relationship, and having to deal with someone else's nonsense that how it came to be. And they're actually a victim of how they were triangulated against each other. Your sibling is the victim of that. But as an adult, the refusal to change that and even play into it is an active choice. And so in tandem, you're having a heartbreak because you're like, I know exactly how you ended up this way. Damn. But then on the other end, you're like, but you still can't occupy my space. You still can't mistreat me to tolerate or to deal with that. You still gonna have to address that on your own. You can't use me as a punching bag to work through your emotional issues, emotional punching bag. But for Prince Harry, that was a physical. I mean, William would lash out at him physically. That alone is so crazy that more people within that firm wouldn't address that, because that's actually pretty insane when you think about it. That's one of those things that does not diminish over time. It escalates. I mean, anyway. And then when the rumors come out about how he treats other people, and including his spouse, when those come out and people are like, of course he doesn't XYZ, I'm like, are you sure about that? Because it's not just, it's the hop, skip, and a jump from doing it in this area to doing it in that area. If you're willing to get physical with people and you become blind and incandescent with rage, you'll do anything, I would think. So anyway, prayers to Harry and Meghan and the people that they are associated with, but congratulations to them on all the amazing work they do. They are very, very loved people, and I hope they know that every day. Hi, Tamiko Hinman. Tamiko says, I'm hoping for a state game. Yes, I hope so too. I hope so too, because I didn't go when it was in Orlando. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was maybe in college at the time, the first go round. So I didn't have any money. But if they come back to the States, I'm going. And I'm going for the full time, the whole 2 weeks. If it's going to be 2 weeks, I'm going the whole time. I'm going to try to volunteer. The last time when I was in Dusseldorf, I pretty much bought the whole, one of those little shops, the memorabilia shops, so I could take all the little goodies away. I came back with a whole nother suitcase of stuff. I sent some to a lot of people too who contributed to my trip. So yeah, y'all got some too. I was tearing that place down. My husband was like, woo, you having fun, huh? And I was like, yes, I want every color shirt. Yes, keychains, please, lanyards, all the things. I had a good time. I have so much Invictus stuff all over this house. You would think I competed. I was just a spectator. But yes, I hope they are. I hope they are in the States at some point. Oh, hello, Shelly Miranda. Thank you so much for being here, pretty lady. I missed you. It's been a little. I missed you too. It has been. Y'all know I'm in school, so sometimes I'll think I have more time than I actually end up having. It's just been a busy, busy couple of months, but it's been rewarding, so I'm not going to complain. I'm blessed. Hi, Corlita Simon. Corlita Simon says, I'm all for a U.S. game as long as Orange Man. Oh, thank you, because I can't believe I left that out. That's a serious caveat. I don't want to go if that, you know what? He probably wouldn't. He would know better than to show his face. He would, you know what? I say that, but he don't have any common sense. I would hope someone around him would advise him not to show his face, because that would be the last place he would want to be. For more reasons than one. Let me hush, because he's still monitoring. He's still got us in a surveillance state, so let me shut up. Hi, Lottie. Lottie says, what William and Kate doesn't know is this. We love some Harry and Meghan. And that's the truth. You know what, Lottie? They actually do know. That's why they're mad. That's why they always look so putrid, why they're always making that face, because they know. They know the only people around them are only there for several reasons: to get clout, because they feel like they have to, or because they're racist and misogynist. The people who don't like Harry and Meghan only gravitate to William and Kate because they represent the rancid lack of values that they also represent. That they don't like Harry and Meghan because they're really good people, but they're also progressive. So William and Kate, no, nobody likes them for real, for real. They're more of a figurehead as the anti-progress. And who would want to be that? Anyway. Hi, Corlita Simon. Corlita Simon says, Harry is hands-on. He speaks and he does the work. He really does. And he's a really good visionary, because even though he mentions having the idea for the Invictus Games and getting that idea, what he's done with it and the way that he's been able to just kind of expound upon that has been insane. I mean, it just keeps growing, and not just growing in size, but in activity. I go to the Invictus websites often to kind of just see what kind of services they're offering now, what kind of community things that they do. And it's always expanding and changing and evolving. They are just constantly on the move. It's an incredible organization. I'm surprised it doesn't get even more media than it gets. It gets a lot of coverage now, but I'm just surprised that it doesn't get way more. I feel like if the next time they're in the US, I feel like it's going to get way, way, way more publicity as well. Hi, Sonia Alexander. Sonia Alexander says, whenever I see him sleeping in his meetings, I think Weekend at Bernie's movie. Okay, so I'm not being ridiculous when I feel that way. And I know who you're talking about. You got to be careful, you know, you too. But yeah, he's giving real Weekend at Bernie's vibes lately. And then at one point, that man was just outright red. Like he was all the way red, not like red adjacent or like kind of peach or like a little sun kiss. It was actually Time logo red. And then he had that vein. I was like, this looks like an AI of him. This doesn't even look like the real him, but he's always asleep. And then anytime he's sitting, notice the people who are standing around him, they're always going like they're always making a gesture as if it smells bad back there. I'm like, well, you picked your horse. Deal with it. Anywho, okay, we have one more segment and then we have more commentary. So don't forget to, I just got out of here. Don't forget to like the live stream and feel free to share so that more people can join. But we have one more segment. Our last topic, we're actually going to be going to Meghan's Instagram. Again, if you have an Instagram account, you can find her at instagram.com/@Meghan. But she posted a carousel 2 days ago with the caption, "Springing into Summer." And I wanted to just walk through some of these photos with you. First of all, this beautiful photo of Meghan laying next to a bouquet with her hat on her face and this gorgeous lush grass. Oh my God, their home, if that's where she is such a dream. Oh my goodness, I would love to have that much yard. And then, of course, we have this beautiful photo. It's not just any old group of leaves, but look here in the bottom left-hand corner. It's a nest with 3 eggs in it. Oh, I can imagine waking up to that. That's got to be amazing. And this one is so cute and funny. It's Prince Harry and Prince Archie playing with this oversized soccer ball. I love this. It's very timely, by the way, but I love this. Look how big that soccer ball is. Also, their yard. And if you look in the distance, there's the bridge where they took their family photo. Isn't that beautiful? So gorgeous there. Then, of course, we got this photo. I'm assuming this is Meghan in her Canadian tuxedo. I love this outfit. Very, very casual, very laid back, but you have this beautiful pop-of necklace. It looks like she's outdoors and having a wonderful time on this very sunny day. Now we have another photo of Meghan cooking, and she's cutting food on a cutting board. Now, I'm not exactly sure what she's making. Can y'all see those ingredients and tell me what she's making? Oh, it looks like, is it pasta? Did I guess right? Y'all let me know, because I see garlic, I see onions, I see tomato sauce, I see ground beef. So yeah, it looks like it might be cheese. Yeah, it might be pasta, but I could be wrong. And then we have this beautiful photo of Princess Lilibet wearing a Queen Bee shirt. This is Beyonce. It says Queen Bee on the earrings, and it says B is for Beyonce. Oh, see, her whole family just has class and taste. Oh my God, I love this family. I could not love them more, but I know Beyonce saw this and was tickled pink. This is so cute. And then, of course, because she's a little kid, she got a little stain on it. Oh my Oh my God. Okay. But whoever illustrated this did a great job. And they managed to give Beyonce my eyebrows. So, because my eyebrows never match. I remember someone commenting and was like, "You're getting so much better with your eyebrows." And I was like, "Oh, excuse me?" I didn't realize I needed to get better. But also, I went back and looked at some of my old videos and they were right. I was wrong. But one thing I will say, no matter how good or bad I continue to get with my brows, they will forever be sisters, but they will not be twins. I've just given up on that. It depends on what side I hit you with, which will determine your experience with me. So I guess if I give you the right brow, you've been bad. If I give you the left, we cool. But anyway, I love this picture. And this is such a cute shirt. I love it so much. How adorable. And then, oh my God, this spread. I absolutely love this basket. And of course, we have her As Ever jam. This is beautiful. I wish I could grow something. The only thing I've been able to keep alive is one sunflower and a peace lily. That's about as much as I can do. And then we have this envelope. It says "The One and Only." Is that Prince Harry's handwriting? Y'all let me know. And then, of course, we have Mama Mia in the backyard. It looks like, are these tangerines or oranges? What is this fruit? Y'all let me know. I can't really tell. I need to get a bigger monitor, but it looks like it might be tangerines. Y'all let me, oranges? Y'all let me know. But anyway, this looks like some backyard time, maybe in a pavilion or a gazebo, but this is beautiful. Oh. And then the eggs we saw earlier, this is them. They hatched. Now, I don't know about you, but they probably shouldn't be posting these little chickens or these little birds naked. Now, they without their egg, give them something to cover up with. But they look so cute with their little beaks. Oh my goodness, they are so adorable. I'm mad I called those birds chickens. Anyway, and then lastly, we drop off with a picture of Prince Harry and Meghan, clearly after some kind of workout or walk or run. And they are sitting on what looks to be a bench, hugging each other and looking at the sky. And I think this might be a screensaver because there's a mouse here. So in the frame, that's not my mouse. Here's my mouse. So it looks like that's right there. It looks like maybe this is somebody's screensaver. That's very cute. Thank you, Meghan, for sharing this with us. These were beautiful photos and the perfect welcome to the summer. I hope y'all's summer is set up to be so wonderful. Y'all have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to do, and I hope you enjoy every bit of it. If you are in Texas or any of these southern states, do not leave your house without several water bottles. You know better by now. And if you don't have AC in your car, bring an individual fan. We're going to have to get that fixed. And if you have leather seats, leave something in your windshield or leave something over your seats when you get out. So when you get back in, your legs aren't burning. Says the girl who grew up with grandparents who had Cadillacs. And when I would get in, it was a rite of passage to get burned by the seatbelts. So please protect yourself in this heat, but enjoy your summer. Thank you so much for watching the SharionSade YouTube channel. I appreciate you watching my content. If you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video by hitting the thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button. And don't forget to comment along the way. If you feel so inclined, please don't forget to share so that more people can find us. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, so anywho, I thought that was such a cute update. They just seem like they have such a fun and peaceful life. I also love her garden. My goodness, I would love to be able to grow food that way. That's a level of abundance that I would just love to have. And they seem to get a lot of sunshine. That's why they're always happy. They get a lot of vitamin D. But I thought that was so beautiful. Hi, Corlita Simon. Corlita Simon says, love the pictures. The trolls will not stop complaining. Really? Where? In here? Or like just in general? Because I know how they do in general. But if y'all see them in here, moderators, if y'all can get rid of them. I can't see from this vantage point, from this little app. Okay, so let me go through some of the comments. Hi, Sonia Alexander. Sonia Alexander says, I fought with a nasty deranger. She said Princess Charlotte likes Taylor Swift, so now Lily loves Beyonce. I told her she is loony. She absolutely is loony because that is crazy. They want them to compete so bad, and I don't think they realize how unfortunate that would be for their faves. So they might want to stop with trying to nag on a competition, but also their children. I wouldn't be surprised if both girls like both. Like Beyonce and Taylor Swift like each other. They're friends. But they will make, the derangers will make a competition out of anything. And that's how you know just how pressed and depressed and stressed they really are. Because if they genuinely thought that, or if they genuinely supported, that family, the Cambridges or the Waleses, and the children, they would just be busy supporting them. Like, I have never seen anyone that I follow that's a Sussex supporter. I've never seen them go out of their way to be like, so Charlotte wore this shirt, so it's an ugly shirt. Let's put up links with spam about the shirt. Or like, I've never seen them try to like sabotage. That's also a character thing. I would honestly bet that you can use those two camps as a litmus test for the type of character the person is based on who they support. And I'm just going, for people who are like, I support them both because I like royal family. Okay, sure. That kind of gives me the same energy as like a neutral party. And I just feel like after a certain point, you can't be neutral. After you've observed people go to certain lengths and do certain things, not lambasting them, but not condemning them or choosing to still support them with just like, I was already supporting them, I'm gonna keep supporting them. I just feel like that says a lot about your character. And it's not great things. I just feel like at a certain point, you have to see people's actions as a representation of their character, and then you have to move accordingly. And if people don't have a breaking point, or if you don't have a bottom floor, that says a lot more about you as well. And so anyway, for people who support those people, then they certainly support what they do. And I think that's absolutely indicative of their character. There's even some people who like other celebrities who supported I keep calling them the Cambridges, the Waleses, and I'm just like, maybe you just always loved royalty and you're like, I'll never get an opportunity to be around royalty, so I have to tolerate them. But after what they did to Harry and Meghan, I can't imagine, especially a Black celebrity, ever wanting to support or be around those people. Anyway, those derangers are crazy. I can sum it up. They're crazy. They are crazy. Hi, Lottie. You're talking about the orange man. That bastard is sick and the Republicans know it. I agree. They're doing all they can to kind of hide it, but they're not doing a good job. Hi, Tammy. Tammy says, so happy you're almost done with school. Thank you so much. I'm happy that you actually finished. That was so inspiring. I was so happy for you and proud of you. And I hope you're doing amazing things and continue to do amazing things. I was so excited for you when I saw that you had finished and you're on your journey and moving forward. And I cannot wait to join you. I cannot wait to join you. I picked up a minor. And so, of course, I picked up a lot more of a headache, but I appreciate the knowledge I'm learning. So it's good, but it's definitely expanding my mind. It's just been a lot of work, but it actually is very rewarding. It's a very different thing to do a lot of hard work towards a goal you're excited about. And the information is actually information you're interested in and obsessed with versus like busy work. So I'm very blessed to be able to go back. But it has been a journey. I tell you what, I might work 24 hours a day once I finish this degree because I'm going to get every opportunity, every penny out of this degree possible because I worked so hard for it. I might not ever stop working. My goodness. Hi, Sonia Alexander. Sonia Alexander says, a bit off topic. Did anyone see Idris Elba's wife, Sabrina, whose car was backed into, and the person at fault questioned her, asking her where she's from? She said Canada, and they again not believing. I'm going to be very real. Based on a person's energy, I won't answer their question. And that's just a me being kind of stubborn thing. But when people ask me a question, I assess, are you asking me or are you questioning me? Because those are two different things. And people will try to be passive aggressive with their racism. They love a good microaggression, thinking it's either going over your head or it's so small, you're not going to address it. I address everything or I address nothing. So a lot of times when someone talks to me, for example, I was outside of my building and I live in a pretty nice building. And sometimes people, I can see them because I don't dress up. I don't perform for people. I walk outside here just like I would anywhere else. And what's crazy is I was outside my building with my little schnauzer. And this man kept trying to strike up a conversation, which is not immediately weird. Like I talk to everybody if you talk to me with a certain tone. But it almost seemed like he was trying to assess me. And I did not care for that. He was an older man. And he was like, well, hello, sweetheart. And I don't respond to things that aren't my name or polite salutation. And sweetheart is not that. So I just looked at him like he was crazy and kept going. And then he was like, you from around here? And I gave him one of these and went back to my schnauzer. And I think he got the energy that maybe this is not a safe space. Let me move around. She seemed crazy. And that's exactly how I wanted him to react. Because I was like, it was not like, are you from around here? Like, interesting. It almost seemed like, you from around here? And first of all, I'm in Texas. So yes, I'm in Dallas. So again, yes. But then also I live in this building. So yes, 3 times. But also I don't know him. And I certainly wasn't going to tell him where I live. That wasn't his business. So all around, I wasn't going to acknowledge it. But people's microaggressions, they swear you're not going to pick up on it. Or if you do, it's going to be so small, you're not going to check them. I check them every time. Every time. But this is ridiculous. I also saw what Idris Elba said about being James Bond. And I got where I think he was trying to go. But I feel like the way he said it and his verbiage just did not land. He used the term woke as a pejorative. And there is nothing wrong with seeing through bullshit. There is absolutely nothing wrong with acknowledging harm done. There's nothing wrong with knowing history and seeing how those patterns have shown up in today. And there's nothing wrong with progressiveness or advocating for yourself or others, especially marginalized groups. Being woke is a blessing. Understanding the world around you is a blessing. To be a sheep, to be asleep is to be a sheep. And who the hell wants their head in the sand? Who in the hell wants to say, I'm blind to the world around me? I do what people tell me because I don't know any better. I don't have a point of view. I don't have a perspective. I don't know anything. That's ignorant. And there's a group that aligns with that ignorance. And that group uses woke as a pejorative. So that was a bit surprising. I think I knew what he meant. he was attributing that belief system to those people and saying that's why there'll never be a black bond, because those people will never accept it. They are not ready for a woke James Bond. But there is nothing about being black that means you're woke. There's a whole lot of coons in this world. So I would love to wake them up. Trust me, Idris, I would, but I don't, and I can't. But I don't know if he meant it as far as a representation of how he sees things, but it did seem like he was a bit aligned with it. He seemed a little bit too cavalier about it to me. I was like, I'd rather him just not even responded to that. So I hate that for them, but I mean, it's so interesting that would happen right after he made that statement. And I'm like, no matter how much we tap dance, they will still see you for who you are and treat you accordingly. Even when you're famous, even when you use woke as a pejorative, even when you semi-align with them or pacify them. I mean, a good rule of thumb is if Piers Morgan is agreeing with you, you're probably wrong. But that's just me. Yes. Thank you for pointing this out. Completely forgot. Sonia Alexander said just days after he was knighted by Prince Charles, his wife got checked. And again, he was actually one of the, and I love me. Is it Idris or Idris? I always say Idris, but I actually think it's Idris. I don't know. But I actually adore him. I think he's so handsome and I like him in everything he's in. His voice is absolutely divine. Absolutely divine. That man needs to be narrating things. But when I saw him get knighted, he was actually who I was talking about when I said, you know, the people who still participate with that institution, knowing what they've been accused of, especially people you know personally, that's a choice. But they might also see it as like, that's a family issue. It's removed from me. I don't want to get involved, but also I'm never going to get an opportunity like this. It's a big deal. I don't know. But I can say this. I grew up in America. I grew up understanding that different presidents represent different things. But up until not this most recent one, but the other Republican president, the one before this one, up until him, there was always still this like level of respect, not even respect, but just like, that's a man in power. So if I were to receive some kind of accolade for any other president prior to Bush, whether that be Democrat or Republican, at that age and that time of my life, I would have been excited because it's the president. Now I understand that they represent very different things. And if I were to be awarded something from a Republican president, he would have to represent some normal values for a change. And I haven't seen that in a long time. I don't know that I've ever seen it. So anyway, in my lifetime, it would have to be a president I support. I certainly stand with like the athletes and the people who receive awards and they choose not to do that at the White House. I stand with them because I understand that's a pivotal moment that almost every professional athlete looks forward to, is winning a championship and then taking the photo with the president, spending the day at the White House. That's a staple. And that's something that they'll always have, a memory they'll always have. And to have this psychopath in there and ruining that for so many people every year. But I appreciate the people who don't just say, well, it's still the White House, and they still do it. I appreciate the people who stand by their values. And so I say that to say, on this end, I understand having a leader in office who you're like, I've always wanted to go to the White House. I've always wanted that moment, but it's you, so I won't. So when I saw that photo of the knighting ceremony, I was just like, I can't tell people what their values should be, but it was a bit of a disappointment, especially knowing his proximity. But anyway, that's a me thing. I'm definitely not projecting that onto anybody, but that's just how, that was my takeaway. Yes, thank you so much. Sonia went on to say before there was civility among politicians. It was. And I almost feel like, did I imagine that? Because it just seems crazy now. It just seems like every day there's like this wacky headline. Things aren't even tense in like a political way anymore. They're like wacky. Really, I mean, imagine going to a press conference to tell people I'm not going to my son's wedding. Like, shut up. Like he's so annoying. Like, let me stop. Because I'll go on. He's a terrible person. He's a dangerous person. He's all up and through those files. There's so many things that could be said about him. But at his core, he's just annoying as hell. Shut up and go away. Like, that's always my perspective when I see him. I'm like, oh, I hate this man. Next, yo. The members have probably, or Patreon members have probably heard me complain about that man to the point that they never want to hear his name or coming out of my mouth again. He sure was. Exactly. Hi, Laverne Plunkett. Laverne Plunkett said, hello, everyone. Remember, I just was the DJ at the Sussex's wedding reception. He sure was. They have that great photo of him and Prince Harry like leaning into each other. I think they're vibing. But yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Because of his proximity, he has a different perspective. And I would have been inclined to not go because of that. Not just because clearly your firm was racist to the only Black member of your family. I wouldn't have wanted to be knighted by Charles or at all from that family because of that alone. But because he actually knows the Sussexes and they have relationships, it was his choice to make. And his values are not up for my decision or not up to me to decide, but it was a choice. And I was just like, maybe I didn't have you pegged in the right way. Maybe I don't have a good perspective of you. Maybe I put more on you than what you really represent. And that's a me thing. I made assumptions and I probably shouldn't have. I assumed he was bigger than that. I should say. I mean, let me shut up. I don't want to be mean to the man. It's not his fault, I guess. Hi, Prudence Montague. Prudence Montague says, today is my birthday. So proud to be 72 years older. Oh my gosh. Happy birthday. Oh my goodness. What are you doing for your birthday? I hope it's the best day ever. And your birthday falls on a Friday. You got the whole weekend to celebrate. I hope you have a wonderful time. Happy birthday. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for spending some of your birthday with me. Well, since it's your birthday, let me let y'all get out of here so y'all can go do your things. It is already 5:12. We've almost been in here an hour, and I know other live streams are about to start. So let me not take up all the time. Thank y'all so much for joining me for the 4-year celebration. I can't believe I've had a YouTube for 4 years. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like this video or this live stream. Feel free to share so that more people can find us and join the live stream or at least watch it on replay. And feel free to share. Did I say share? Yes. And feel free to subscribe to the channel so that we can continue to grow. I really appreciate it. And then also, for those of you who are on Patreon, you're getting new videos next week. My exams are over. So for this week, and I have next week with no exams. So y'all are getting probably inundated. Y'all gonna be sick of me. And then members, y'all are getting a couple of Sussex styles. I've been working on this one video. It's kind of taking a while because there's a lot that they're covering. So I'm so excited that will be coming to the members next week as well. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.